Hello, City and Map Painters. This is Mr. Dean. Let's get right into it. Just as I was saying in a previous recording that there were no such things as accidents or mistakes, I made an accident and or mistake that made me have to redo the whole thing. So, live and learn. Here's what we're going to do though. I promised to talk about roads, and that's what I'll do. Now, the earlier build showed a lot of stuff going on. So let's recap here. What did I do? Well, roads and trains are best suited, or train tracks are best suited for being level. And I've got a perfect example of that here. These are all running level over these delta islands here. And they run straight and true. I have the road sloping down from the highway to about 1 meter above the surface, and that is because about 1 meter above the surrounding area it will drain well and keep the road dry during sudden downpours. So for all my highways, I'm going to try to keep them 1 meter above the basic elevation, and I can do that by setting my elevation step down to 1 meter. I have not yet declined on the track because I need to see what will happen later on, where it's going to join up, and make some plans for that. But if I do, then the train slope should be very gradual. The cars can tolerate a slope of up to about 10%. After that, you don't want that on your road. No, you could build a road like that in City Skylines, but the Department of Transportation will not be happy about that. For railroads, though, because the trains are hauling much heavier loads, they need to have a much more gradual slope than the roads do. And the roads, they could go up and down over hills. Trains got to cut through. I've even seen where the roads are at an elevation and the trains are running level, and that means at times the roads have to go up so the trains can go under and keep their level because the roads are more forgiving in that area. But at any rate, this connection here from this side of the map is flat. It's straight. Same thing for this one connection over here. Roads are elevated. They actually come up a little bit more than 1 meter here, so that way they can be part of a bridge, go across, and then they're actually running out at that level, and then they're going to drop down later on. You can see they're about 10 meters up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or maybe 11. Yeah, each one of these lines is a meter there, so that way you can keep track of what you're doing in the game. Now, I have not smoothed out this area here. It may change. And I haven't smoothed this area either, and it won't change, so I need to do that real quickly. I've got my smoothing tool, and so let's just go over the road here. There's no reason for the berms to be so sharp in their definition. We could let it be more gradual, and that's fine. There we go. We'll still have good drainage. There we are. That looks better. And I could do the same over here, I think. I haven't done them yet. Ooh, there we are. Nice and nice. Alright, got them leveled out as well. Okay, I won't do it over where the Delta Islands are. That's a bridge going over waters there. There's the water will smooth things out over time. Alright, so those are my two main highway and railroad lines. The highway will likely follow along the river. It doesn't have to hug it, but it'll follow close to it and connect up here. And the rail lines will likely split out and come around behind the city and then join up here or something of that nature. Reason: if I keep the highway and the railroad close together for an inbound path, that makes sense. They can take advantage of the same cut through the mountains. But once we get into town, that rail line is going to be awful limiting for the freeway if it has to stick next to it. So it's better that once we cross the city boundary, that the rail line and the highway go separate directions. So the rail will likely go out and take a gentle curve, maybe just miss the center square, and then come back around to join its buddy over here. Alright. Now, I chose not to put any highways through these mountains because they are just so rough. Yeah, not going to happen there. What isn't already rough from the mountains is made rougher by the lake and river system. So we'll pass on that. But I want to have 4 highway and 4 railroad connections because that will allow a maximum import of traffic to this map. That means I'm going to have a second connection for the highways and railroads coming off of this side, and a highway and railroad connection coming off of this 4th side. Okay, I've already done the highways and I was about to get to the railroads when the big mistake happened. So let me recap with the highways. What I did is I used the network multi-tool to determine slope, and I'll start with that here. We're on the slope mode. And it's pretty straightforward. You want a good, clean slope throughout. Now when I started, there were areas that were red because there was a small bump in the land, and using this tool to just flatten through that bump made it a lot simpler. Then there are other areas that had red slopes. They were over 5% or more red slopes, and those had to be fixed by selecting a range of road, and usually the longer the better. You don't want to go all the way from top to bottom, otherwise it would have had a really deep cut. What I did is instead selected an area around a corner and hit enter and took that slope. So you can see how these are all 1.2, then it's 1.6, that was another section, then 1.5, that was another section, 1.3 was another section, then we're back to 0.6. Ooh, that was really good. And you see how this road winding through the mountains is able to come with a very gentle slope all the way down. We finally land on 2.1, which is really good. We had 11s and 10s up in this area, but selecting the range and hitting enter, see where it says press enter to apply slope? Yeah, I applied the slope and it all came down very nicely. Right click over here, this slope. Let's pick that guy, there we go. And let's keep going with this. We want to show what we can do. Okay, again, selecting sections. We were able to get, it's a little steeper here. Okay, 2.3, 2.6, 0.4, but even at 2%, that's not so much that we're going to have people cooking their brakes and blowing them out on the way down. And it's not going to be so bad that on the way up, people just give up and pull over to the side and ask for help. We've got a smooth enough slope here. And again, we used this tool here, and I could hit enter and it would, over a section, it would smooth it out. The other trick would be to select nodes using the move it tool, and then going here on height tools, and I could do slope objects, and that will do the same thing as the network multi-tool does. I believe this one though has a undo function, whereas network multi-tool doesn't. So, or it's the other way around, or I did it wrong. Either way. Sometimes I do it in one, sometimes I do it in the other. Then, once I had the slope right, I use the network multi-tool create parallel mode, and I do this for all the highways. Now, not only do I have the highways hitting about a meter above the surrounding area, I also have it where the highways are an extra 30 meters apart than what's default. So let me show you here. If I take this and here, all right, it starts off saying, okay, 16 meters is all you got. Well, between these highways, I actually want it to be, let me hit the plus sign here. it starts off really 26 meters between them, or sorry, 22 meters between them, and I want to knock it out another 10 and get 32 from center to center. That means that we have roughly 30 feet or 10 meters, well, 9 meters and change, but this green space between the lanes, and that's called a clear zone. So if somebody is driving in this area and they fall asleep at the wheel and they go off the road, they have to struggle to get back on. This is enough room for them to figure out what's going on and get and recover and avoid a head-on collision. If I have these two close together, someone could swerve off the road and easily have a head-on collision. Putting in the clear space means they don't have that problem. Now, in the game, will that ever happen? No. But does the U.S. Department of Transportation require that on interstate highways? Yes. So, I want to have it realistic. I put it in there. And once I put it in, there were some cuts through the terrain here. Over here, there's a cut in this area here. And I came back with a smoothing tool just to, again, to reduce the overall angle and minimize the chance of there being falling rock on the road. So it looks clean. And yes, we have a highway that snakes through the mountains, but it's at a very gradual slope. If I'd gone straight through, I'd be blowing through this mountain, and that's way too expensive. Cheaper to go around and make that all work. I will have an interchange here with flyovers and bypasses and stuff like that, so that'll come later. And then both of these connections will share the same path into town. Alright, so now what's left is the rail line. I could have taken the same path, but that would likely collide with the freeway. I want the rail line here to come a separate route, so this one can go over it if needed and allow the rail to go through. So let's take a look now at the slope on the rail line. Let's go back to our slope tool. And let's click here, and click here, and all the way up to here. We're not going to bring this guy in because I don't want to mess with a node on the edge of the map. Alright, well, if this was taco sauce, this would all be very mild. And then it gets a little spicy here. It's still medium spicy, and then red hot. You do not want 10% for your train. Really, you don't want 4% or 5% or even 3%. So let's smooth this out. Now if I hit enter right now, it'll make the whole thing one straight line. I don't really want to do that. I want to make this localized. So I'll start here, and I know this was a big section out to here. Let's see if we can add that one in. How about that one? This is really steep. Now we got a little bit more we can average in. And I'll take that out. Alright, let me hit enter on this, and if I hit Control Z and it doesn't work, then we'll know I should have gone with the other tool. Alright. Ooh, 3%. That's not good. Alright, Control Z. And it doesn't do it. Okay, so it was the... yep, this is the one you can't do it on. Alright, I'll right click and I'll just blow it up. It's pretty easy to blow things up. Here, you just highlight them all and hit the bulldozer. Kaboom. Alright. How are we going to make this happen to where we have it work out okay? Because I'll tell you what, if I go over here, oops, shift and select all the nodes. Alright, yeah, got them all one into the other. Let me just hit the slope objects here. Alright, the little section that got raised up in the middle, the rest is fine. So this section is good. And let's just check the slope on it. Hopefully it's not 2% or anything like that. If it's 1% or less, I'll feel good. It's 2%. Ugh. All right, well, let's blow that out. And kaboom. That's not where we need to put the railroad. It was too steep. All right, well, I've got this other candidate for a rail line over here. Let's check these slopes. All right, we're still in slope check-in mode. Start here, go all the way here. I saw a little bit of red, saw a little bit of orange. I don't think this was as bad though. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. All right, what do we got here? 4, 4, 4, 2s, 4s. This is good. Just a 5 and a 4. This is the line. All right. Let's go to this mode here, so we can control Z out of it. Ha ha ha. And let's just do the whole thing and see what that looks like. Again, we don't have sharp turns for all the... Yeah, we don't have any sharp turns here. You know, a little bit of wiggly waggly, but that's okay. Let's go here and do slope objects. All right, take a look at it. Does it look too bad? Okay, let's lift it up. Lift it up. Lift it up. Wow. Okay, it's lifted. It's good drainage all the way. Let's go back over here and see what that does to our slopes. Should be the same all the way. There we are, 1.4, 1.6, 1.5, 1.6. Ooh, 0.2. Ooh, what do you know? Maybe we can make this go out even lower. Well, if we average them all out, it probably comes out to like 1.5, 1.6, because I see a lot of that here. A little bit down there, so it could be like 1.4. I'll try my luck here. Hit enter. Ooh, there it is, 1.4. Called it. I'll take that. That means basically it's dropping 1 foot or 1.4 feet for every 100 feet you run, or for every 1,000 feet you run, it drops 14. For every 1,000 meters you run, you drop 14 meters. Even though I want it to be 0, I know this is a train going through a mountain and we got to get to a level area. That'll do. That'll have to do. But what if I made it a little bit higher at the end? Because it's going to go over a bridge. Let's try that. Let's put our bridge in. Alright, and get rid of the network multi-tool. Turn that off. And turn that off too. Alright, are we ready? Let's come in and out. Alright, now let's hit page up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to go across here. Oh, let's make it straight. Everybody loves a straight bridge. Like that. Alright. And just for grins, let's make it all the same height. So we're going to go over here. And we're going to select all the nodes. Alright, looks like this one has got the highest height, so we're going to make it all over here. I'll hit Control H, click on this, and doink. They're now all the same height. Okay, now that becomes important because we're going to now connect this to that. Alright. It went down, but that's okay. We're going to now level it all out. Let's go to the actually, I'm going to go turn that off. We're going to go to the network multi-tool. And we're going to start with this segment here. And we're going to go all the way. And remember we had the 1.4%? Let's see if we can average out with these. Ooh, that's a plus 2.4 or 1.2. But that 6.4 might help really round things through. So let's see what we can get there. Oh, can't grab that many. Gotta watch it. Sometimes you can grab a lot, sometimes you can't. Alright, all the way, baby. Let's hit enter on that and see what gives. Well, it's 1.3. I'll take it. I will take it. 1.3 is shallower than 1.4. We're gonna switch this one over to a ground segment. Let the bridge do its thing, and we're going to now smooth it all the way. Smooth it all the way. Smooth it all the way. There we go. Alright. No falling rock on our trains. It's going to be great. And maybe a little bit more smoothiness here because it's on the buildable area. That is nice. Okay. This freeway may have to come up to go over that train track. And this one will likely join up with this other one pretty soon, and then they will go their way. Alright, so that's that train track. We got that working. Now, how do we figure out the last one? I could be a cheater and just bring a second line in over here to go with that. Hey, why not? Yeah, why not? Or come in at an angle so that way people can't guess and it just joins directly with this line. Oh, that's really cheaty. It counts as a connection, sure. Well, will the map be worse if I do it that way? Maybe. Or maybe not. Nope, I like that idea. We'll just do that. So, just, yeah, do that. And we'll smooth it out. There, one less headache for me. I can build up hills in there to make it look all scenic and stuff. But for now, I'm good with this. Sometimes you just gotta sacrifice a little bit. Alright. We'll join these rail lines and join the freeways. Bring out this interchange, have them come across and have another. Ooh, this one looks like it'll aim, if we bend it, it'll come in right there, right below the center square. That could be good to make this the big downtown of the area. And then a T intersection with that between these two. And that'll get all our highways connected up. And then we'll be ready to start adding trees and other foliage and rocks as well. I haven't forgotten, we got a few waterfalls here. Be nice to put some rocks in. Alright, well, I hope you understand what's going on here. Why we space things the way we do with the highways for the clear zone. Why we get the slopes we do, because we want to make sure that the cargo trucks can drive safely and the cargo trains can drive safely. And everybody benefits when you have a good map like that. And to be honest, I have to do it this way because when I look at other maps and the roads are too close together, knowing what I know, I can't play on them. I'm just picky that way. Well, anyway, you have a great day. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.